My name is Ray Figueroa, and I want to welcome you to Brook Park, right here on the corner of Brook Avenue and 141st Street. We have an initiative going that is about community-based, community-driven, mission-driven community farming, right? And by mission-driven, I mean that there are a number of community farms like Brook Park Youth Farm that are really addressing some fundamental issues. What I would like to do is to contextualize the significance of Brook Park's presence right in this community. At that time in the 1940s, it was a residential building. And what happened at this period, which is not so evident, is that this community was being redlined by the state, the federal government, with its policies supporting redlining at the local municipal level. What that means, this community was being mapped so that disinvestment would occur, so that investment would not occur and disinvestment would take root. What does that mean for this community? The legacy of redlining as it proceeded forward into the 1980s, what we have had since the 1940s of a community redline, and it was redlined, it was revealed because of the presence of black and brown people and immigrant peoples. Here in the 1980s, continuing that legacy that was begun in the 1940s, the interim, there was something known as urban renewal. And urban renewal designated communities as slums, certain communities as slums, primarily, disproportionately so, communities of color, black and brown communities. And they were involved in something known, they meaning municipal government officials, in doing what is known as slum clearance. Accelerating slum clearance was this policy that you see represented in this picture, was planned shrinkage. And that's where cuts to the fire department, cuts to the police, cuts to sanitation, cuts in hospitals, cuts to education, all types of municipal services were being cut. Social triage policy by which to handle a fiscal crisis in the city. And the idea in the cutting of those services, there were fires happening, there were all kinds of garbage piling up in these lots, and either buildings were being burnt down and not salvaged as a result of the lack of fire department response, or they were being dumped on. So this is what this is. What this has resulted in is, if you look way off in the distance, you will see a very tall building. That is a public housing project. If you look off this way, you will see public housing. Public housing is a proxy indicator of concentrated poverty. And we have these public housing projects surrounding Brook Park. This is the legacy of redlining, and it's caused tremendous amount of displacement, tremendous amount of social and economic dislocation. But with all of that attempt on the part of municipal leaders in terms of disinvesting, in terms of clearing out, in terms of dumping, there was a core, a cadre of community residents who took ownership. And if you step back a little bit, you can see the results of that ownership initiative. This is Brook Park today.